and hit the concrete wall.
This is a nice graphic illustration of what it looked like.
Yeah.
Which is good. It was a bit more like, that's actually what it looked like. Exactly that. That's Francis going
into the wall.
A nice graphic illustration of Francis hitting the wall at Road America and binning it. Literally. A lot of fun here at Road America. The kids are out. Remote control cars are out, as you can see. We've got the trucks, actually in the stadium trucks. A bit bigger than that one. But we've had a lot of fun. There's a good kart track here, good crowd here. I'm amazed at the crowds coming in as early as they did. They've got some Xfinity racing to come. And, of course, we're bringing you across the World Wide Web the practice of the TA and the racing from the TA3 and TA4. He's a menace. Look at him go. He's chasing the girls off. There's even some Rafa Matos.
Low shirts there.
Well, everybody's got a Low Shack shirt, surely. So have you got one of these at home? Is this how you practice?
Yeah, that's how I practice.
Keep yourself sharp?
Yep. It's a great way to stay in shape.
Drives a bit like you.
Everywhere I want.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting ready. And the cars will be out very soon indeed. We're just waiting for the cars to come out on track. Here's a look down the main straight and at the approach to Turn 1 at Road America. Let me ask you this, Jake. Everybody talks about the iconic Road America circuit. Now, I know that it's steeped in history, that's over 60 years now, but what is it about the course that everybody kind of waxes rhapsodic about?
It's a big boy course. I mean, you look at these straightaways, you look at the carousel, you look at the kink. I mean, this track's no joke, and it's fun. That's another part of it. It's fun, but yeah, this really separates
the men from the boys,
exactly,
and the girls from the So no question. And you can see it's also a brilliant place. You can see the woods here with people on mopeds heading through there. You can walk through there. And the sound, the cacophony of noise through there, especially with these Trans Am cars, will be fantastic to hear.
Yeah, and like you said, you can pretty much go anywhere in this track and have a really cool view and catch a really cool corner. So the track's really accessible in that regard. I mean, you can watch everything from everywhere.
Yeah, they've got Spa Formula One at the moment this weekend, and it's a similar sort of track in many ways with the woods and like you say, those vantage points all around and some really fast, high-speed corners and 3 big, long straights. You mentioned the kink. That's probably the fastest part of the circuit. That's where the oil was down. But you can see these hills just sort of overlooking little perch places, and I think that's what really does make Road America so special. But you can also see with the grass just off the side of the track, and we saw it in the last race, it's easy to get your wheels onto that grass if you're trying to do an overtake or you're trying to get out of the way, as we saw in the previous race, to make a mistake and get into trouble real quick here at Road America.
And it doesn't take much.
No.
A couple wheels off. You know, if you come out of that corner and you drop, let's say your right side, right rear, and the grass is obviously going to have your right rear is going to spin more, and it's going to make you lose traction and hook, and that's what we saw happen with Delaney and Bufamonte last race.
Yep, we've had some cracking racing already from the TA2 championship, and if you like, the only man kind of following on from that is Ernie Francis Jr. He was involved in the TA2 race, just recently joined the championship in TA2, but leading by 45 points in the TA class and heading for another championship. And I think at his tender age of early 20s, he's had a remarkable career up to date. Low Shack will now lead them out. We're looking for Chris Dyson too. Now, I know the oil at 120 miles an hour at the kink on Thursday's practice is that he will start this weekend's race in 16th place, the champion. And when I asked my friend today to what he expected to get out of this race, he said, you know what, just some points. If I get 8 kind of points, I'll be happy. But he said that at Indianapolis. He started at the back and won done it.
I think he's got a little bit...
there he is.
That's not his car. That's actually Kerry Hitt's car. Kerry Hitt offered them his car for the championship. So that was another thing he said. It's not ours, so we want to be really careful of that.
Ernie Francis, for those watching, is a 91 car. His rally car, that's the bit you just saw. Boris, you mentioned, Boris said, who of course is in the Monster Energy car, and Boris said, Monster Energy, the concept of Boris, Challenger, it all just race Boris in a couple, he's on it.
Yeah, he had a great run in Ohio. As a pre-test that Weaver on that car, I mean, Poncho Weaver's done a good job developing that car. And looking up close at that thing, that's got to be the prettiest car in the paddock, I think.
Yeah, no question. It's beautifully prepared. Boris said, of course, he's probably one of the most versatile drivers America's ever produced. And I mean that wholeheartedly, because he's done NASCAR, he's done sports cars, he's done Trans Am, he's done Le Mans, he's done every form of racing. And in fact, the man I could probably put the closest to him is actually also out there. That's Spencer Pumpelly, who's had a late call-up. The man from Arlington, Virginia, is replacing Chris Oateson, who's under the weather for some reason today. But so he will start at the back, will Spencer. But a man with 2 class wins at the Rolex 24 Hours doesn't need any second chances. He'll be fine, and he'll probably come through. We're looking at Lawrence Loshak as the Corvette, the pace car, leads us round. Jake Dallenbach, who alongside me was running the pace car last year, and I've said it on many occasions, not an easy job with this much horsepower behind you.
No, then, like I said, it was in the rain last year too.
Yeah, so that's even less fun. What were you driving? Were you on a Corvette, or what were you in?
BMW M3.
Ah, well, plenty of grip there.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
David Pintarik in the only Cadillac, I think, out there, as Tommy Dreese in a rather interestingly painted Predator car. I'll tell you a little bit about that later. Tommy Dreese, the West Championship winner this year, and of course has done a few rounds of the series and is in here this weekend. We've got a few new guys coming in. Greg Pickett coming in. Now tell me about Greg Pickett. You spoke to him. I know he's a family friend. Raced against your father.
Yeah, I mean, he's making his 176th Trans Am start here.
Outstanding. 176 starts. That's a pretty impressive record. And he was telling you, am I right in saying, he's won in every decade?
That's right.
Pretty impressive. Here we go then, folks. TA3 and TA4. The Corvette comes off. We go up the famous, iconic Road America hill to start this race. Lawrence Loshak needs to get away well. Chris Dyson alongside him. Boris said, ever hard charging. The green flag waves and away goes Dyson. Good start. And Chris Dyson has got away well on the right-hand side in the plaid white and red car, but Loshak recovers well. Boris set up the inside, and into second place goes the sports car ace, and through goes Pintarik, and he's been pushed out on the inside at turn 1 at Road America, gets turned around in the 57 and does make contact, sadly. And that is not what the Cadillac wanted.
I think that was Ernie Francis that he got in.
Kidding.
Yeah.
The championship leader got into him?
I think...
Which means he could have damage too.
Yeah, man, everyone almost missed him.
So drama at the start here at turn 1 as they head down towards turn 4 for the first time. All sorts of debris flying up. We're watching the Dodge Vipers. Pintarik's got going again. He's got bodywork flapping off the back. There's Alini Cipriani, the leader in TA3. She's okay. Loshak leads.
I'm not sure if they don't throw a double yellow here with Pintarik. Oh, there's a lot of stuff on there that can puncture a tire.
Puncture tires, yeah. That's what I'm concerned about as they come back on it. And you're going for, I mean, what? First corner's what, 4th gear?
Or 8th. They're pushing like 170 miles an hour at the end of that, so you don't want to have a puncture tire.
Full caution yellow, no surprise then. So, another dramatic start to our Ryan Company's TA3 and TA4 race here from Trans Am 2018, and this is the reason we are under caution. The number 57 of David Pintarik is in real trouble. In fact, to be fair, it looks as though it's kind of, he's made a mess, but the car itself is still under steam. But look how much damage there is to the back of the car and how much debris there is on track, which, like you say, could cause a lot of puncturing, and that would be a really dramatic effect with several punches going out. So luckily the staff here at Road America quick to it. Now he's got to come in, surely. They've got to flag him in, because that is going to come off and go straight back into another car if he's not careful. So yeah, I presume he's going to pit now and at least pull the bodywork off. Yeah, they'll definitely pull him in. And it's hard as a driver. You can't feel fiberglass sometimes, so he might not even know it's back there waving. He could probably see it. He's probably still going through the accident in his head. Yeah. How did you see it? Did he get a touch or?
I think he just dropped the 2 wheels. He got pushed off a little bit and went around. And I'm surprised everyone got as clean as they did.
Well, just to give you a quick rundown while we're under safety, Chris Dyson took the lead. Lawrence Loshak took second place, but Lawrence Loshak now leading. Then Boris Said moving up to second place. Loshak dropping out. Here comes the pace car. Cliff Eben got a good start. Pintarek was in 5th place at the start, but as they crossed the line, Eben in 4th place, and then Dave Ruthlow in 5th. Amy Ruman up to 6th. Now, I'm looking for what Amy can do from this one. She loves racing here. The Ohio native from Stowe. And then Tommy Dreesy in that rather distinctly painted Predator car. And by the way, Predator, a series just about to launch on the 14th of next month. And Tommy Dreesy runs a marketing company in Hollywood, hence the reason he's got those kind of connections that can give him some movie advertising. But if I was going to put anybody in the racing series that we're looking at here, I think Tommy Dreesy would be one of them. He is a character, to say the least.
It's just fitting he lives in Hollywood.
It pretty much is, yeah. He's got all the right requirements for a Hollywood man. I'll leave it at that. There's drama wherever Tommy goes, put it that way. And there's drama here for David. And it says, anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Well, David, never a truer statement on the back of that car.
Yeah, doesn't look like, it looks like mostly cosmetic. You can see there the bumper bars are bent over.
Here's your Predator car.
Yeah. So he should be able to get back out. It was Francis Jr. who got into him a little bit.
Wow. Just saw Paul Fix. Now, I'm surprised to see Paul Fix, the man from New York, down in 13th position. Now, Fix has been a regular fixture of this championship at the front, but why is he so far down, do you think, here at Road America?
I'm not sure if they did work on the car. They might have changed tires or something, because he started way in the back, almost last row. So
here's another look. Now, watch on the inside. Yeah, to be fair, David's got no one really to blame but himself. He was on the inside and had nowhere to go. Got, like you say, a couple of wheels onto the grass, boom, and away he went. And he tried to gather it all together, but just got caught out. And this is the aftermath of that. And look at everybody streaming through. Let's hope nobody's got punches. There was a couple of Dodge Vipers there. I can see the BMW, Kleeman's Mustang in there. And Mark Bowden aren't racing this weekend, and that is going to give her a chance to get away in TA3. The Ginetta leading both TA3 and TA4 at the moment.
And that's a big weight lifted off her shoulder. Now she can just go out and have fun. You know, as a driver, if the top 2 guys you're racing against aren't there, you can go out and relax and really enjoy it.
Well, this is her first time. She's a rookie, and this is her first time here at Road America, and this is the one they've been fearing all year, because the Ginetta absolutely is not known for its horsepower, you know, against the likes of a Cindy Lux and a Dodge Viper. The Dodge Vipers are, if you like, the tool to have in TA3 here. And she was not really looking forward to this weekend, but now relishing it.
Yeah, and those guys that are coming in for the one-off, I mean, they're not going to upset the championship too much mathematically, because if they come here for one race, she's going to gain the points. The other 2 guys aren't even here, so they get 0 points, so it'll be a good day for her.
And for those tuning in and hearing us talk about a female leading the championship, there's another one. There she is in the N129. That's Natalie Decker, making her debut from ARCA here in Trans Am, the 21-year-old. From just down the road, and she has been running ARCA, but her first time in Trans Am, of all the tracks you'd want to pick to go and take your first race. Here we go then, under green. Paul Fix with problems, it seems. Amy Ruman starts the way in 6th position. They cross the line, chasing Loshak. Boris Said looking for his way past at the first corner, can't quite do it. Dyson in 3rd. To 4th position, that's the number 31. Good restart by Dave Rouleau, and Fix has come to a stop in the stop flex car, and luckily out of harm's way by the looks of things, but damage, as you can see, to the right hand side of that car, and the race continues down towards turn 4. And it was Tommy Dreesy who got overtaken by Amy Ruman. Greg Pickett up into the top 8. Good start by him, the veteran. Lawrence Loshak, Boris Said, Chris Dyson, Evan with a really good restart in the number 36. He's up to 4th.
Loshak's taken off.
Yeah, he is. He's gone. What would you say the form book? I mean, he didn't have. Well, first of all, he didn't have a lot of luck at the beginning of the start of the season. But his form since then, or since the second half of the season, has been tremendous.
Yeah, it's almost like a switch went off in that team. You know, they were like, let's just go win the championship. So, and ever since then, after Road Atlanta, they've been switched on. So, I think after that practice wreck, they just.
Yeah, that's what happened. You know. The year started in round 2 for Lawrence Loshak with a qualifying, I think it was, wreck where he hit the wall hard and basically wrecked the car hard, and he's been chasing it ever since. And like you say, the second half of the championship, especially in Ohio, looked good there. And well, that's a bit precarious, but they're still continuing. And Fixer's car will be moved out of the way, I'm sure, before they come round again. There's Tommy Treacy in the Predator car. And who's he going to make his next victim? It looks like ahead of him is Amy Ruman. It is. Greg Pickett up to 8th position. Kenny Butt. So we've got the 2 veterans, 8th and 9th at the moment, Pickett and Butt. Boris Said losing a lot of time down the straights to Loshak. And Lawrence doing a 209.064 last time out. And interestingly enough, Boris Said a 211.5. So a big difference. But we saw that in qualifying, Jake. I said to you at the time, what on earth with Loshak? He was really quick.
They've obviously figured something out.
Yeah.
Because that car's on rails this weekend.
Well, there's Ernie Francis Jr. trying to make up as many points as he can. We'll keep an eye on him as the race continues, but he was involved in that first incident. He's down in 13th position at the moment, behind Kerry Height, ironically. Kerry giving him his spare car, another car out.
It's like
and
Bailey.
That's Lawrence Bailey, who was on the podium not just a few races ago at Pittsburgh, the veteran. And he is out, and another caution.
I didn't see a lot of damage on Paul Fix's car or that other one. It seems like there's going to be some motor problems.
Yeah, could well be.
You know, this is a high RPM track, so it looks like Simon Gregg.
Yeah, Simon Gregg's in as well.
We lost a wheel.
Oh. Well, that's not a very way to get around here. 51. Tommy Ellis, that is, that's out by the looks of things. So we've all sorts of drama going on the start of the race. This, of course, due to be another 1-hour race. So David Pintarek in trouble. Simon Gregg, likewise. In comes the 51 of Tommy Ellis, a man from Florida with 3 wheels on his wagon. And we're under caution in TA3 and TA4. We're keeping a watchful eye on just where Francis Jr. can finish.
Yep, I think I was mistaken. I think Kerry Hitt is the one who got into into
well, that is going nowhere, is it? Fast.
Yeah.
Both those cars in, and they've got a lot of work, those mechanics. They're fixing one, they've got another one queuing up. Well, Kenny Butt looking for his first top 10. And Amy Ruman up into the top 6, just behind Cliff Eben. Dave Ruhlo in 4th position. Chris Dyson 3rd. Boris Said still in 2nd place. And Boris's only chance to win this one is to get a good restart, I think.
Yeah, I think he needs a late restart. If Loshak keeps running the way he's running, he's going to need a 1-lap shootout with a restart. Yeah. Get in front of Loshak and try to hold him off.
Well, Spencer Pumpelly already up to 19th position ahead of Brian Kleeman in a similar brand new Ford Mustang. And if we get a closer look at that Ford, it's quite special. One of just 50 made Ford Trans Am spec. There we see them in the 09 and the all blue Brian Kleeman number 07. So watch out for them. And I think the Pumpelly car is the number 1 chassis made from Ford of that particular model. So pretty impressive. So Loshak will lead them under safety up the hill here at Road America. And the Ryan Company's Road America Classic. being led by the Corvette. Under caution, Boris Said looking to pounce. Chris Dyson in 3rd position at the moment. And we're also looking in the battle for TA3. At the moment, TA3 being led by the looks of Jason Daskalos, who actually won this race last year. Dirk Leuenberger in 2nd place. Marko Radicic, who came into the championship in the BMW, coming from PwC. You had a good chat with him. What's his story, and why did they choose to come here?
Well, first of all, they saw everyone else having so much fun, right?
True.
This last week at Mid-Ohio, it was kind of an experiment to see if
they liked it.
They liked it, if it worked out, and it did. They a lot less rule restrictions for them, and they liked the flexibility, and they had a lot more fun in Mid-Ohio, so they decided to come out to Road America.
And then we were competitive. There was a good battle between Cipriani and the BMW throughout the race. There was quite a big attrition rate there too, and so they were up in the points, and yeah, like you say, just enjoying the afternoon out.
And it's a good-looking car. Those M4, those M4s are really cool, and they still have the key fob in it. So it's one of those factory race cars.
Now, would they, because of what you just said, I mean, when you say key fob, I think production car, or I think not race car, but I think kind of production car. So is it a heavy car then in that respect?
It's a little bit heavier. They've done a really good job to pull a lot of the weight out. Carbon doors, carbon hood. But yeah, it's basically a car you can go to BMW and purchase and turn into a race car. Take some other stuff out. So I think the actual M4 you can buy has a roll cage already in it, but it still has a key fob. So it's kind of funny because they have the key fob in a little holder.
Put the license plates on afterwards and then go back on the road. Well, they're still working on David Pantaric's car, and it looks as though they're going to try and get back out again. He was involved in the first incident. There's Francis Jr. Ernie, as they call him.
Should be going green pretty quick.
Yeah, I was going to say, we won't be far away from restarting this one. So quite a high attrition rate already. Pantaric getting going again, and they're just trying to rip off the loose bits of bodywork that aren't helping. Francis Jr. And funnily enough, he's got his teammate, or effectively his teammate for the weekend. Nice gesture from Kerry to help Francis out.
You don't see that a lot. I don't know if I would have done that.
Yeah,
here, drive my car.
Like you say, it's part of the Trans Am feel, isn't it? It's and he's got some damage too. It's Kerry with the damage, as you say.
And there were guys from Loshak's team, from everybody was pitching in and helping those guys last night. So it's just a good thing to see. It's a good community to be in.
Yeah, it is a good atmosphere in the paddock. Everybody sitting around and swapping stories. To be honest, it is a throwback to when this championship started some 52 years ago. And, the Dollenbachs have had their time in this championship and continue to do so. Jake alongside me. And, yeah, I mean, would you say that was true when you were growing up watching this stuff? That, it was a good atmosphere that we've managed to kind of preserve in some ways?
Yeah, although it was a little bit before my time.
Okay.
So.
All right, we're green flag here at Road America. Away we go. Loshak gets a good start. Boris Said, though, will try and chase him down. And for Boris to get the waste win here, I've got the feeling that he's got to pounce early. He comes to the outside. It's not the favoured place to go. Dyson looking for a way on the inside. He slots back into line. And Dreesy going the long and highway round.
That was a good move by Dreesy.
Yeah.
That was a really good pass.
Loshak, though, leads it. Dreesy thinks about it again. Trying to make a move on the 36. Has to pull back, though, and hold back. And they're all slotting down and in single file now, down the main straight. That was Cliff Eben he was making a move on. Didn't pull it off. And Amy Ruman right behind him. Into turn 4 they go. Line astern. Good restart. Tommy Dreesy trying to make up some positions early on. Boris Said not pulling it off, but holding off Chris Dyson in the process. And oh, look at Loshak go. He's off again.
That car is hooked
on rails.
this weekend.
It's on rails. McAleese in the all green. He was in the gravel trap late afternoon yesterday, so I'm glad to see he's in good fettle. This man, Kerry Height, is not. And how long can that last, you wonder?
On this track,
not long.
I give it another lap or two.
Okay,
with long straightays.
I'll give him the carousel. Here we go. We'll soon find out how long he can keep the front hood. And yeah, it's not going to be easy to drive that car. So Lawrence Loshak leading the way and pulling away here at the back end of the circuit, over the bumps here, into the right-hander and back towards the start-finish again. Great circuit to go racing. They love it here, that turn 12 turn. And then up the hill, a little kink 13, and then the final corner into 14. But you've got to get good drive out of this last corner coming up, because that is the long run up the hill here at Road America, and it can be the definition. I've seen races won and lost on an exit out of this corner.
Yeah, I mean, you got this whole long straightaway. If you don't get off 14 good, you're not going to have a chance at passing anyone down into 1. I mean, that is probably one of the most important turns besides turn 3.
I tell you what, Lawrence Loshak's going to be catching back markers if he's not careful, if he keeps going on like this. He was 2 seconds quicker, 2:08.5 last time out, and Boris said a 2:10.731. And Boris, funnily enough, is the second quickest man out there, so that's how fast Loshak's going. Gosh, look at the gap he's already pulled. This is only the second restarted lap. And Boris is doing a good job because he's pulling away from Dyson. Raylo in 4th position, Evans still 5th, Tommy Dreesy, that's this group, and he's at the back of it in the all-blue car, going through shot just there. The blue striped car of Cliff Evan just in front of him, and then just behind them, Amy Ruman, Greg Pickett, Kenny Butt, and Jim McAleese. Natalie Decker in 11th, just outside the top 10 in her first run. That's a good start for her. She's been able to capitalize on a few others like Pintarek going out, but a good start in her first Trans Am race.
Yeah, we talked to her earlier. She wants, her biggest thing is more road course experience,
yeah.
and this is a really good track for that. And she's in one of the top teams. And Tony Ave's team does very well here. So for her, I think she's doing the smart thing, just logging laps and watching other guys, learning. You know, like I said before, you can always learn something from your competitors. And the second you think you've got it all figured out, there's someone else who's going to blow by you. So.
Well, she's certainly from a racing family. Ironically, well, I say ironically, but her father was a snowmobile champ, and that's how she got into karting and racing and being around him, and so that's where she picked it up. Her brother's a male model in LA, so figure that one out. She goes racing, and he goes male modeling. Interesting. And we just got a quick glimpse of the TA3 championship leader. There she is, Alini Cipriani. And it looks as though she's got some real pressure from the number 55. Good racing here. She's under big pressure and losing out by the looks of it. But she's holding, she's doing a good job. And funny enough, her teammate, Warren Dexter, just behind. There he is. He's in TA4. Look, as always, holding his own.
Look how good those Janettas are between 12 and 14. I mean, they're so nimble.
Well, we saw this, didn't we, at Mid-Ohio? We saw Warren Dexter particularly going around the outside at places that I've never seen anybody at Mid-Ohio try or an attempt around the outside, but he was doing it on lap after lap. 55 is Milton Grant. Look at this.
Pickett's going after it.
Yep. Pickett enjoying every moment. In comes the 91. That's Kerry Height, who had that... No, excuse me.
Ernie Francis.
It's Ernie Francis Jr. who's pulled out. So that is a dramatic turn of events, because he, of course, is the championship leader by 45 points. Here's Amy Ruman.
And Pickett hasn't lost it. He's on it.
I saw that car yesterday, and it's beautifully prepared, the Ford Mustang. Well, you interviewed him. What did he say? He said, what did he say? He said, this car is just great. It's fast.
Yeah.
It's full of horsepower. Road America gives you a chance to use it. He couldn't affoose about it more, could he?
No, he was basically all but said, hey, this is if I'm going to race. He's raced everything. ALMS, Grand Am. He's like, this is what I want to race. This is what I have more fun in.
Yep. Well, we're just seeing an outside shot in the distance there of Ernie Francis Jr. parked up. Not where we want to see the championship leader. Lawrence Lochak will be loving this opportunity. 45 points the gap. He's got enough time in this championship to do some catching, hasn't he?
Yeah, and we saw Mid-Ohio.
There he comes. He comes back out again. Now, that's odd, isn't it? He had a cool box go on him in the previous TA2 race. I wonder what's gone wrong with the Advanced Composite Products car this time.
Well, I
remember, this is not his car.
Yeah, I think he's out there just logging points at this point, and if he knows he doesn't have a shot to win it, I think he's coming in, making the car better, logging points, and it's also going to help Kerry hit.
Yep, absolutely. Now, ironically, he's come out just in front of the leader of the race. Here he is, Lawrence Lochak, coming out of turn 3 in the number 2. And the GoShare sponsored Pennzoil man will soon be coming up on both Kerry Height, who's out, and Ernie Francis Jr. in the 91. Blue flags being waved for the leader to come through, and this has been a startling start. A dramatic start with 17 laps to go. Lawrence Lochak already building a 4.5 second lead almost, but now coming up on some traffic. And I say traffic, it's going to be pretty fast traffic because he's up against his closest championship contender.
I think they'll be pretty heads up.
Yeah, but I would have thought there'll be a wry smile. If I know Lawrence Lochak, and this is his home race, remember, I think he'll have a wry smile as he goes past the man he's trying to challenge for the championship. Now, he's got to pick his time, though, and
he's going for it.
He's gone for it early. Nicely done. And Francis is a good, fair driver, and he won't be making any maneuvers on Lawrence Lochak. Let him get about his business. Now, next is Kerry, and he'll soon be past him, and yep, sure enough, and he just weaves his way through. Nicely done. And Lawrence Lochak is on the march. Look at him go through the woods here at Road America. Here in the National Park of Speed, Lochak doing the business. A little bit of wheel spin as he came out of 12.
They've got that car.
It's
slanted.
dialed in, isn't
yeah.
it? Well, Paterek's back out, but as you can see, being passed quite easily, and I can't be easy to drive a car that's damaged like that. But
he, like Ernie, it's points. He's still in the points, so
yeah, he's still very much in the championship chase.
As much as it hurts to go out there and not, kind of not putt around, but
and also I've seen drivers make mistakes when they don't think they're going to be in competition for a race win, and then they pull out or they don't compete, and it's a big mistake. Paterek's third in the championship on 140 points. Ernie Francis Jr. clearly he's not going to score as many as he usually does. Dexter going around the outside in TA4, and the young kid from Nebraska who's been a sensation as a rookie here in the Ginetta in TA4 has just taken another scalp and will march his way onto what looks like a class win and possibly one hand on the trophy in TA4. Yeah, he's an interesting character, Warren Dexter. You'll see him if you head back into the paddock. He's often mechanicking the car himself. It's a small team. And fresh out of university. And learning his technique as in comes the number 4. I'm not sure what that's for or why he's coming in. Didn't look as though the car was damaged, to be honest, but we'll soon find out, I'm sure. That's Brady Refening of Florida, but Lochak on his way. There's Boris Said in the background. You can see the gap for yourself. It's officially 2.9, and that actually has helped going through the traffic. It's helped Boris Said to catch up a few seconds. So Boris, if he's going to take advantage, but he's a wise old head, and Boris knows how to play Road America like a drum. He really does. He knows exactly what to do and how to use traffic, and if he's going to try to beat Lochak here, he's going to have to do it with traffic, isn't he?
That or like I said, a very late restart.
Yeah.
Boris is pretty good on restart, so traffic, the later we go, the more traffic we get. I could see it, but Lochak's just so fast, I don't know if it'll, without a caution, I don't know if Boris can make it stick.
Well, we've got a quick glimpse of Dave Ruholo of Wisconsin, of course, the local fans cheering him on in the number 31. Rulo Racing Chevrolet Corvette, here he comes. And they're chasing down this man, Chris Dyson, who, as you described, had a rotten weekend in the Mustang. Last time out at Road Ohio. Through goes the 36. And so it's a good battle between Cliff Eben and Dave Rouleau as they come down towards 3. Where would you make an overtake here? Obviously 4 coming up is the most obvious to me anyway. Where else?
4, yeah, once you get to turn 5, 6, and 7, it's very, very sketchy to do. Coming out of 10, right before the kink, get a good run to the kink, get the car pointed off the kink, and going into 12 would be another good spot.
Good drive up the hill here. There's a possibility if you're close enough to make a move or make a block pass up the inside, but you've got to be oh so close. And
yeah,
these two, I think, are on the march, and I think they may well catch up Chris Dyson in 3rd fairly quickly. Loshak then, 2.7 seconds, his last lap at 2:09, but then Boris Said has really got up to speed. He's on the same pace now as Loshak, so this is a real resurgence from Boris.
Maybe he was sandbagging.
The word of the weekend, yes, could well have been. There he is in the Monster Energy car. Dave Rouleau, and incidentally, classed as a rookie, bags of experience, but classed as a rookie up against Cliff Eben. Lawrence Loshak handing out the t-shirts earlier this weekend. He's a good marketeer, I'll give him that. Out there, he does a really good job of talking to his fans, signing autographs. He's a really pleasant whenever you interview him, whenever you see him talking to he's just having the time of his life.
Yeah.
And I love racing drivers that are like that. Some of them are a little too miserable for my liking, especially when you're doing the job that every boy loves and dreams about doing. So guys, if you are a racing driver, put a smile on your face. You're not mowing the lawn or taking the kids to basketball on a Sunday. You're doing this.
Yeah, have a little fun.
Yeah, no kidding. Into turn 1 then, here at Road America, and you're racing one of the greatest circuits in the world. Fantastic. So there's the gap between 1st and 2nd place. The battle is on between Dyson and Eben for 3rd place. And dropping off a little bit, Dave Rouleau. And then a big gap back to Tommy Dreesy in 6th place. Amy Room behind him. Greg Pickett still in the top 10, at 10 in 8th position. So a really good return to Trans Am for him. He was laughing with us. He did a couple of races in the West Coast, did Pickett, and said he beat Tommy Dreesy, who of course is this year's champion. But he wanted his grandkids, all 12 of them, to see Granddad race.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. They hadn't seen him race. They'd heard about old Granddad, and they thought, well, we'll take a look. I think he impressed them.
Running 8th, he's...
Yeah, I was going to say, he's not at the back, is he? So still plenty of life left in his racing career.
Pretty good battle here between these two TA3 cars.
Yeah, and both Dodge Vipers, probably both similar power.
Yeah, no surprise that the Vipers are on top here. This is a Viper course.
Yeah. Why explain that? It's basically just horsepower purely?
Yeah. Like you see the Ginettas, they're really good through 12, 13, 14, 5, 6, and 7. But when it comes to get on these long straightaways, the power of the Vipers and the Corvettes, I mean, it's hard to compete with that.
Well, Jason Daskalos won this race last year and is leading now in TA3, so this is a really good battle between these two. There is Daskalos in the number 27, great painted car. McAleese in the 03 is parked. The hood's off and he's going nowhere fast.
See, the crew guy had him turn his wheels. I'm wondering if he bent an A-arm or something. That's what they might be checking. Boris in that Weaver Racing Concept Monster Energy car.
Well, the man chasing Daskalos is Cindy Lux. She, of course, won at Pittsburgh in the car that she's in right now.
Loshak.
No way. So the leader of this race is on the Jackson in the pits. What on earth has happened to Lawrence Loshak? Boris Said now leads the race. Well, that's a surprise, and he'll be just as surprised as anybody else out of turn 4.
I guess that's the one thing I didn't say is if Loshak comes in the pits for something. So,
but what I mean,
it looks like he might have felt a tire go down.
Well,
they had a tire there.
Let me assure you, there are no scheduled pit stops in this race, and we had a similar weird race in Mid-Ohio in terms of pit stops. We had Ernie Francis coming in from the lead, and in that particular case, we had a situation where cars were overheating when they were getting grass in their grills, and they were worried about overheating, so they were literally coming in to get grass out of the grill. I don't think that's the case here with Loshak. They got him up on the jacks, and that's very rare. That means there must be something wrong with the car. Meanwhile, Boris Said is pushing on. Dyson feels like he can get into competition. Disappointment last time out at Mid-Ohio, and Cliff Evans senses a podium too. So we've got a cracking race on, folks. With 13 laps to go, here's your 1, 2, 3. Boris Said leads the gap, 1.8 seconds to Chris Dyson, but you can see it for yourself. No real gap to the 36 of Cliff Evans, a man from Wisconsin looking for a local win.
And he's coming. He's
coming hard.
Gaining ground on Chris Dyson this whole time.
Yeah, he didn't need a second invitation, did he? As soon as they found out the Loshak was out, right, let's get this on, boys. Out of the last corner then. Let's see who's got the grunt up the hill. Boris Said leads the race at the moment.
36 car got way wide on the exit of that and lost up a lot of ground. So the 04, I think, came in, I think we're a broken shifter, so they replaced that and he's back out.
So then, lots of drama in this race, lots going on, but all I can tell you, Boris Said leading the way.
After Loshak went out, he just got a drive-through penalty for running over pit equipment, so his luck is going down the drain here.
If it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any. Oh well, there we go. That's racing, folks. Meanwhile, in TA3, the battle is hard and strong between these two. Daskalos and another entry into the pits. It looks like the 91 again. Ernie Francis Jr. Now, like I said, the championship turning on its head here because Lawrence Loshak was the man most likely to challenge Ernie Francis Jr. Boris Said not doing the whole season, but will score big points here. TA3, great battle here. Cindy Lux in the middle of it. She's pushing hard now.
Now, if Loshak comes through without losing a lap.
Well, no, Loshak's gone back into the pits again.
Yeah, that's his drive-through penalty. Okay. So if he can get out without losing a lap,
then we've got a race on.
He catch a caution, he might be okay.
Here comes Cindy. There's your leader. So Cindy Lux looking to try and take the lead in TA3. So the drive-through from Loshak. Where will he pop out? And as you say, the key is whether he'll lose a lap or not. Through goes Dyson. Chasing for the lead. They're coming up on back markers now. Boris Said in the Monster Energy car. Really pushing on now. Now he's got that lead. Loshak is still in. And no! It's looking terminal for the Go Share. Number 2. They're looking all around the car. Francis Jr. is out. Well, look at the championship in front of our eyes. And it's not on track. It's in the pit lane. Unbelievable scenes here in our Ryan Company's Road America Classic. Ernie Francis Jr., the championship leaders, had a torrid weekend for lots of different reasons. It started with 120 mile an hour smash into the wall on oil, swapping cars, swapping engines, people helping out, but in the end, he is not going to finish this race. There he is. Not sure what he's signing. Maybe a new contract, maybe a new car. Maybe they found his cool box. And Loshak Racing.
Yeah, that's a good-looking Mustang.
Yeah, that's a great-looking Mustang. That's the Brian Kleeman Mustang, who had, well, he had diff problems. Some sort of diff problem at Pittsburgh, which pulled both he and Outzen out of the cars. They both had a similar problem. Outzen coming in after Kleeman had come in early.
Went way wide there.
Yeah, he did go way wide. And now Boris Said going through traffic in the number 21. He just went past Warren Dexter. In comes Kerry Hyde again.
And Natalie Decker.
And a big bang! And that's David Pintarik just blows the engine on the Cadillac down the main straight. And that's going to bring out a caution, surely.
Yeah.
But as you say, in that drama, also the lady running in the top 10, Natalie Decker, is out of the race. She's in the pits for some reason. But far more dramatic than that.
Was that Simon Gregg or?
Was it, yeah, it was either Gregg or Pantaric. I think it was 57 or the 59.
I think it was Simon Gregg.
Ooh, there it is.
Yeah.
What a mess.
Wow. And well, you know, that might have been why Natalie Decker came in. Maybe they're overheating.
Could be. Yep, could well be. Very good point. Oh, look at this. It's all happening. Bupp. Kenny Bupp, who was in the top 10.
I would be curious to see if they all have the same
overheating
engine.
Look at this. Smoke screen at Road America. The leader's coming through. And there is trauma almost everywhere you look here at Road America. We've had some interesting races, but this is going to take it. Boris said, meanwhile, here's another look at what happened to Kenny. Kenny Bupp. Now, was that tyre? It looks as though it's all...
That's motor.
No, that's motor.
That's definitely, you can see it all coming out of the exhaust.
It is. But interestingly enough, did you notice the amount of debris and gunk he had on the front of that car too? Boris said, meanwhile, is on his way. There's Alini Cipriani. There through goes Dyson. And just behind him. So...
Man, that's a tricky corner. We were just talking about...
You can smell the smoke from those motors coming into the commentary box right now. We'll cough especially for effect, we promise. There you go. So, Cipriani, now where is she? I'm going to take a look at where she is in TA3. She's still behind Jason Daskalos and Dirk Leuenberger and Cindy Lux. There's Tommy Dreesy. He's in a battle of his own with the 55 of Milton Grant. There he goes. He's passed him. And we've got
what, 3 blown motors in about 30 seconds.
Meanwhile, there we go. Full class yellow, full course yellow. No surprise there. So, sum this one up, Jake, if you can. So what do we think we've had? We've had 3 blown motors by the looks of things.
Yep. Loshak in, ran over pit equipment for, we don't know why Loshak was in, ran over some pit equipment, had to do a drive-through, came back, did the drive-through penalty, came back in for problems.
Jordan Buck parked up. I say Jordan, sorry. Jordan, of course, taking part in the previous race. Dad, this is Kenny, parked up after blowing that number 81 Chevrolet up by the looks of things. But looks as though he's done a bit of grass tracking either before or after that incident. Probably
I think it was after.
Yeah. This wasn't.
It's Greg Pickett.
You know what? He may well get a good result. He's currently 7th, you know. Tommy Dreesy could score well in this one too. And you know what? This is all playing in to Chris Dyson's hand. He's been throwing a lifeline here. Dyson is 4th in the championship at the beginning of this race. 2 points behind David Pantaric. Pantaric going out right at the start. So Dyson's going to get more points than him. Loshak is out, so he's going to catch him too. Francis is out. So we have a championship on our hands. And Chris Dyson is probably doing some mental arithmetic inside that car right now.
I think he's trying to figure out just what in the heck happened. His crew chief's probably telling him all this stuff, and he's going, wait, what? What exactly is going on?
The 2 Ginettas are with each other. They've got Dreesy behind them. The wounded number 19 of Kerry Height. Then Greg Pickett. McAleese has been in the pits, but he's back out in the all-green 03. And they finally got to Kenny. And he's just sat there patiently.
Looks like they gave the signal to tow.
Yep.
But if he blew up, I'm not sure if that's... I'd be curious to see if he's dropping fluid.
Drop stuff on the track, right? There's Brian Kleeman.
All the white smoke would indicate it's an internal brake.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's good. Because the way it was pouring out of the exhaust.
Have you had a close look at this Mustang? Beautifully.
Yeah, it's nice.
Prepared, isn't it?
Nice.
Lovely. It's got all the mod cons. It's got a nice aero package. I think they're quite proud of it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to weasel my way into that.
Good for you. If I was going to pick a car, I think that would be it.
That's why I always travel with my racing gear.
There you go. Good boy. Yeah, Ford are pretty proud of this too. And this is pretty much the latest thing off the shop floor. And Kleeman and Utzon have got the... And I think there's only 50 made.
Yeah. That's also tough to come out with a new car, new season. I'm sure they're going to be learning a lot about the car, working out all the little gremlins that come with the new race car. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're running up front at the end of the season.
Yeah, and of course that's the plan. They only brought it in Pittsburgh, to be fair, so it's hardly been in race trim. They did finish that race, so yeah, this is its first real proper race in anger, if you will. And away goes Kenny Bupp. Yeah, you're right, he's not dropping anything out of that, so that's good news. So we're going to have a bit of a sprint race after this, hopefully. Boris Said still leading the way from Chris Dyson, but Dyson, the man the most to gain from this, and the New Yorker really probably licking his lips after disappointment in Mid-Ohio. There he is in the Plaid-sponsored car.
Don't count out Evan though. He's not a regular, so to speak. So I mean, he's probably going to be a lot more. You know, if I'm in his shoes and I'm not a regular, I'm going to go pretty hard on this restart. Get around these guys and see if I can hold them off. He's going to be the wild card in that top three, I think.
Yeah, well, we saw obviously the mechanical problems for Francis Jr. He is out of the race. So too David Pentarik in the 59. And the number 81 also out of this race. A big attrition rate. And we saw Kenny Bupp being dragged back to the pits. After what had been, there he is, had been a really good run up until that point.
I think the 44 of Decker went out with mechanical as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good start. She held her own and was running in the top 10 before she was out. So for just 21 years of age, not a bad way to start your Trans Am career. Plenty of time left to get amongst it with the boys. And we could have a TA3 champion in the making here in the young Brazilian, Aline Cipriani. She's going strong, and with her closest contenders out at the moment of this race anyway, she won't win this afternoon. Her first time out here at Road America, really enjoying it. And there is Boris Said. I was talking to him about some of his highlights. I mean, this is a guy who's, you know, raced Le Mans, raced the 24 hours at Daytona. And I said, well, what really stands out to you? I mean, you've done so much. And he said, you know what? He said, the NASCAR guys don't get enough credit. He said, going wheel to wheel, he said, I almost won a Cup car race. He said, but I took the wrong line. And he said, but going wheel to wheel with those guys and learning how to race in NASCAR with the aero and how they have to think about all of those things, he said, you don't really give them the credit. TV doesn't, you know, kind of doesn't really give them the platform that they need. And it was high praise from a guy who's pretty much done it all.
That was a fun race.
He said the hardest person he's ever raced, though, was your mum. I put that in.
It's the hardest person I've ever had to race.
Fair enough.
The only time I get hurt is racing with my family.
Fair enough. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
that must be very demolishing.
So, yeah, it was
demoralizing.
Interesting childhood.
Yes. Well, it's all right. You can play it out here. It's okay, Jake. You're in good hands. Well, Ernie's back out, but it's not going to be the weekend to remember for him at all. Now, Boris has really got to have his mettle about him for this restart, because you know that Dyson is seeing the full points spectrum. Boris, not a regular in the series, but I think just might make an appearance next year. He's enjoying this, isn't he? You've been talking to him.
Yeah, he's, well, when we left Mid-Ohio in the airport, I asked him, I was
he
like,
said, I don't know if I'll be back.
I don't know if I'm going to come to Road America. And
here he is,
sure enough,
leading the race.
Yeah, so I think the hook's set pretty deep.
Good.
And
he hasn't won yet.
No, and
in Trans Am.
Yeah, and I talked to Poncho today. Poncho is so fired up.
That's his engineer, right?
Poncho Weaver of Weaver Racing Concepts. That's who built Boris's car. I mean, he's fired up about this.
I'll bet.
Whatever we can do to grow the series, man, and to come out here in the second race with that car he built, finished third in Mid-Ohio and now leading Road America. That's a pretty big testament to their cars.
Well, I have to say, it's a huge advert for American racing. When Boris said thinks it's good enough for him to race in, I think it's a real indication of where Trans Am is and the competition level, because he's certainly not smoking them. But Boris, one of the most respected drivers in North America, and there's no question that if he's enjoying his Trans Am career and he's going up against youngsters, experienced guys who've been doing it for 20 years, and guys like Greg Pickett, who's been doing it for almost 50 years.
Yeah, and Dyson too. Dyson's one of those guys. He's raced a lot of stuff, and
yeah,
he picked Trans Am to go racing full time. So, like you said, big testament to how cool the series is.
It really is. Yeah. Just got to go back to Greg Pickett. His first race, this is his 176.
I know,
race
yeah.
In
176, yeah.
Think about that. That's pretty impressive. So we're getting ready to go racing again. It's going to be an 8-lap sprint. The green flag waves at the top of the hill in front of our commentary position. Away goes Boris Said. Good start from Chris Dyson, and he's got to make hay while the sun shines here in Road America. He tucks himself up behind Boris, but decides not to make a move just yet. He'll hold back and keep his powder dry, perhaps, until maybe turn 4. Ruben's got a good start. Around the outside goes Dexter, just trying to stay out of trouble. He knows there's cars that are faster than him coming up that hill, but they're all cleanly through the first few corners. Dexter again getting out of the way of the faster TA3 cars. McAleese is through. Here comes Boris down towards turn 4. Dyson isn't close enough for a pass this time. Lights flashing in the TA3 class. Dexter getting out of the way of the Vipers.
That's got... I feel for Warren Dexter.
Yeah, exactly.
He's in the middle of all the fastest cars. Yeah.
Whoa! And look at that. Sidney Lux makes a move. Nicely done. Simon Gregg in front, and Lux goes through. Beautifully done. Amy Ruben trying to put some inroads on Tommy Dreesy, and this battle continues. Look at him go.
Dasclos did the crossover on him.
Yeah, he did.
On Sidney Lux coming up the hill.
So these two are going at it, and Cindy really enjoying this, I'm sure. So, TA3, a real battle going on here. TA being run and led by Boris Said. Damaged cars everywhere, blown engines, all sorts of drama going on. The championship leader is out. Loshak, the second place man, likewise is out. Pintarik, third in the championship. He's gone. Dyson, the only one of the regulars. Ruben's in there too. She's currently 5th overall. Simon Gregg is out there running, but he's not going to make any impact, and you can see how much damage there is to his car.
Definitely hurts the aero.
Dasclos getting very, very close to slipping here at Road America. He hit the grass for a second there. Lux has got the lights on, and she means business, and he wants by quickly. Does Dasclos, because he knows that this could hold him up and give Cindy a chance to try and make an overtake again.
Yeah, and Pintarik, even with the damage, is still fast enough to stay in front of him, so this might work out for Cindy Lux.
Well, Pintarik could, like you say, still get some decent points out of this with the attrition rate that we've got. Boris Said under pressure going through turn 1 again. Good run from Dyson, and he's getting right there, tucked up behind Boris Said. He'll try to tuck himself up closer here. Could he get a run from here, do you think, out of 3 down towards 4?
It looks like it. I don't think he's going to get close enough, but he got a decent run. Not quite.
Not quite. Boris Said then will hold him off as they come towards turn 4. And it's going to be a desperately long 6 laps for Boris Said if he's going to take this win. Dyson, flames flying out of the Plaid-sponsored car. Right there in second place. Tommy Dreesy holding off a host of cars behind him in the Predator car. He's the one, though, being hunted at the moment.
Lux got around Dasclos.
Yeah, so Sidney Lux is having a really great battle with Dasclos. Dasclos coming in, the local man just for this race, won it last year. Cindy Luck's a winner in Pittsburgh just a couple of races ago. And now Dyson all over the back as they go through the carousel. But it's not going to be an easy ride for the man leading the race. And look at this, traffic everywhere. And Daskalos wants by Cindy as soon as he can again. And these two have been swapping places for the last few laps, and this is a great run in TA3. We've got 3 classes out there, TA, TA3 and TA4. What a race.
Very good race.
Nah,
I think he'll get
winding his way up. How does she defend? It's really hard, isn't it? I mean, it's not a wide circuit, but there's enough room to squeeze past it anywhere, really.
I don't think you got to pick a line. You can't block him.
No,
he's obviously a little bit quicker.
And you can't change your line and be defensive because you'll lose time coming out. All the corners are important to get drive over. You've got to be on the right line. Up to 13 then comes Cindy Lux with Daskalos all over her. Likewise, Boris said dives into turn 1. Dyson right behind him in second place. 5 laps to go here. 20 laps gone in our Ryan Company's Road America Classic, and it is just that. An absolute classic here for the TA race of Trans Am 218 here at Road America. Boris said doing everything he can to hold off a hard-charging Chris Dyson, who knows he needs the points. A chance for Dyson to redeem himself after what was his mistake at Road Ohio that ended up in the gravel on 3 wheels. He now has a chance to throw himself back into this championship with both Loshak and Francis and Pintrak, to be honest, 3 all out in front of him. Look at him, how close he is up the top of the hill. Yeah, now he's tucking himself in.
Yeah, Boris had a little wobble there, and you see just a little wobble how fast that a mistake can just cost you, and Dyson is right there.
Where's the best place for Dyson to make a move? It looks like he's making it now. But where would you go?
After the carousel, I think it depends who gets through the kink better. So I'm waiting to see, if I'm Dyson, to see what Boris does in the kink. If he lifts, if he does it, whatever he does, and if he's a little quicker than I am, then I'm going to adjust, because there's only 5 laps left. So
yeah. Well, and do you want to lead with 5 left with Boris behind you?
That's also probably not.
Here's the kink.
But
well, he took it well.
Yeah, I think Boris gets. They're pretty even right there.
They are. And in fact, the 3rd place man, Cliff Eben, is coming up now as these two battle and they're concentrating on each other. Cliff Eben is coming in for his nice grand finale in the Mustang. So the 2 Mustangs pushing hard now on Boris said.
Loshak's back out.
What a shame, hey?
Yeah, I think he's just grabbing many points as he can.
Yeah. So Boris said in the Monster Energy Weaver Racing Dodge Challenger, leading the 2 Mustangs up the hill. But how long can he hold them off? The gap, half a second, but really...
That's nothing.
Yeah. It's only, like we've said before, a gear change or just a wheel off in the wrong place. Boris said, though, picture perfect through turn 1.
Yeah, he leaves Dyson in turn 1. And so after turn 1, Dyson's playing catch-up. So...
Whoa! And round goes the 31 at turn 1. Not sure what's Dave Rouleau, who'd been running, as high as 3rd at one point, is out of... He's in a mess. But McAleese about to overtake him as he's gathered himself together. But Boris said I'd love to have a chat with him afterwards because he is using all his sports car experience right now. And Trans Am experience, I may add. Plenty of that too. But he wants this, doesn't he? And I think this will seal the deal. If Poncho wants him to race for him, I think this will seal the deal. On the other hand, you've got to feel for Chris Dyson. This is an opportunity and a half through Speedville. Road America at its finest.
The last thing Dyson wants to do is repeat Mid-Ohio.
No, don't say that. It was Boris he hit.
I know. That's what I'm like,
Yeah, be careful. And I tell you what, as we talk about these two, don't count out Cliff Eben. You said it might be a one-off, but look at him go. And he looks, you can see the body language of the car throwing itself from side to side, and he's throwing it. He is definitely winding himself up for an overtake on these two. And I think as Boris drives as defensively as he can, this is actually only playing into the hands of Cliff Eben.
Yep. So, we're at 4 laps to go. Boris and Dyson are going pretty hard. So, Evan's going to have to go hard.
Oh, no!
Lock-up there.
There's a lock-up there, and I thought for a moment there might have been another motor, but it was just a lock-up. But it's given a chance for Evan. Here he comes. He's got the drive up the hill. That was a bad turn 14 for Dyson, and now we've got a race on our hands, folks. Here comes Cliff Evan. McAleese is also under pressure. But into turn 1 is the real battle. Here we go! For second place, he comes up the inside. All he has to do is brake late. Nicely done by Dyson. He holds on for dear life to hold on for second place. Good driving that from Chris Dyson. That was brave.
And if I'm Boris, I'm
thank you.
Yes. Thank God.
Yeah, thank you for that, boys. Quick look in the mirrors. And those curly locks of Boris said, I can actually see the smile on his face as he comes down towards 4. Well, that was, I'll tell you what though, nice move by Dyson to hold on there, because I thought that was done.
And good on Evan too to back out of it like he did.
Not cause a crash. Yeah, far better to finish third than ruin both of their races. Now, can Dyson catch? He's certainly given Boris Said a breathing opportunity here. This battle rages on in TA3. It's not done either. Cindy Lux now behind Daskalos again, and she had led him. And she'll probably be waiting for some more traffic to pound. She's definitely strategically been brilliant in this race, choosing her time to overtake Daskalos. And this has been a good battle throughout. What a race this has turned out to be. The Ryan Company's Road America Classic turning into just that. Daskalos into 4 again with time running out now. 2 to go after this. Warren Dexter looks as though he's got T4 wrapped up. TA3 far from over, and so is this in TA.
Dyson caught him quick. Dyson seems to catch
him very quick.
Within between 4 and turn 9, and then Boris is pretty good on the high-speed stuff. So they're pretty evenly matched. I'm curious to see if Dyson doesn't try to make a pass somewhere that is a little bit unconventional.
Well, yeah, you just got to wonder how much quicker Dyson could be if he could get ahead. We'll find out, because he's bound to make a go at it. The sun's starting to come out here just at the right time in the battle for TA3. It's on for sure. Now, Boris Said trying to use the back markers to his advantage, and he gets a little bit of advantage there. Loses a bit of time, does Dyson, into turn 1. This is where Boris Said is so good. Meanwhile, back at the back of the circuit, going down the back straight, Cindy Lux still pushing hard on Daskalos. This has been superb racing by these two. And Jason Daskalos knows he's in a battle, the man from Albuquerque.
Probably one of the closest battles in TA3 we've ever had.
Yeah, absolutely, certainly all season, that's for sure. This close towards the end. Here she comes again. Well, they said all along that this was the race they were waiting for, the Dodge Vipers. They got the horsepower, but the trouble is when you find somebody with similar horsepower, then you really can't do much about it, except wait. Wait for a mistake, force them into a mistake, or possibly wait for some traffic, and there's plenty out there. Lux with the lights on, trying to intimidate him. Likewise, talking of intimidation, she looks up the inside at turn 1, can't quite pull it off, and the battle is on. The director not quite sure where to go, and don't blame him, because there's so many good battles on here in the closing stage of this with 2 to go. But Boris Said holding on against Chris Dyson. Dyson desperate for the points. Boris just wants a win again in Trans Am, and coming back to the series, taking a little look, a little tease, dipping his toe in the water, seeing what he thought it was worth to come back to Trans Am, and he's really enjoying it. Meanwhile, in TA3, far from over. Now, if you were Dyson, where would you build up to try and make a move? Would you do it on the last lap? Would you do it earlier? Would you try to lead the last lap? How would you play it?
I think with Dyson being fast and out of 5 up to 6, if he could get a good run coming out of 5 and get up to him at 6 and then surprise him going into 8, that's where he seems to be really a little bit quicker than Boris.
Well, that's Loshak in front of them. The white flag is out. We are on the last lap. Alini Cipriani in the TA3 car just gets out of the way. Boris Said, through goes Dyson as well. She's no problems for him. Remember, Loshak going past her on last lap last time out at Mid-Ohio and then spinning it off at the keyhole. No such problems. Cindy Lux losing time to Daskalos here as we head towards the last lap for them too. They'll see the white flag next time round. But she's doing a good job of staying with him, but he's definitely pulled away from her in that last lap. And look, she's caught up in the corners. Meanwhile, Boris Said going past, ironically, Lawrence Loshak, who led this race early on, but has managed to get back out, but he won't be in contention. It's Boris Said leading Chris Dyson. The TA3 battle is just as close. They're coming up for their last lap. Wide and high goes Jason Daskalos. Here comes Dyson. He's got to make a move now if he's going to beat Boris Said. But Boris Said and the Monster Energy man is monstering it around Road America.
Here's going into 8, and that
was where you thought he might make a move.
Yeah, he was close enough. He was just barely too far away.
Well, he's running out of time, and he's running out of opportunity too. And it really is a matter of corners now. If Dyson is going to pull something clever here, he's going to have to do it quick. But I think the mighty Boris Said has outfoxed him here. He pushes hard here, but this is Dyson's last chance. If he's going to do it, he's got to do it now up the inside. He's not close enough, I don't think. Boris gets nice and wide in the Camaro, and here we go in the Dodge Challenger, excuse me, and away they go. Final last couple of corners. Can the Mustang do anything about Boris Said? It's been a brilliant win and a brilliant run by Boris Said. Dyson looks up the inside. It's going to be the run to the line and up the hill. Dyson gets out of shape and won't do it. Surely Boris Said's got the drive. He's got better drive than Dyson. And Boris Said wins in Trans Am TA here at Road America. A brilliant win, one that Boris will remember for a long time to come. And what a way to come back to Trans Am for Boris Said. A superb run by him. Meanwhile, back to TA3. Cindy Lux trying and everything she can on Jason Daskalos, but Daskalos, winner here last year, is going to do it again. She might have one more chance. Jake, is she close enough?
Maybe.
That's offensive.
Maybe. If she can get close 12, 13 and get a good run out of 14, she could maybe do it. But it looks like Daskalos is kind of just, well, I don't know.
She didn't use the brakes there much.
I was going to say, she late brake there.
Yep. Well, she's close, and she's got 13 and 14. Here's Kleeman to finish finally for the Ford Mustang. It's going to get a good run here at Road America. What a day it's been for Trans Am Racing. What a superb display of motor racing at one of the classic circuits, the most iconic in America. Road America puts on a show, and so does Trans Am, as TA3 finishes with Daskalos beating Cindy Lux across the line here. What a run, what a great day's racing. And what a start to the day. Beat that, if you will, Xfinity NASCAR, because that is great motor racing. In TA4, it's going to be another win for the youngster from Nebraska. The 21-year-old Warren Dexter comes out of the last corner and surely will have one hand on the trophy now in the TA4 championship as he takes the checkered flag. A brilliant run by him. So then, Boris Said wins, and Chris Dyson finishes second place, and despite the fact that he didn't win the race, Dyson has done his championship hopes no harm at all. Here comes Ernie Francis Jr. He does complete the race, but it's disappointment for the championship leader, and we have a cracking run to Daytona. Jake, looking forward to being there?
Yeah.
Boris has got the gloves off, quite literally.
Big sigh of relief for him, I think. Yeah, just and what a testament to those guys at
Weaver. Yeah,
Poncho built a really good car and got a really good driver, and first win in a second start.
Yep.
So not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all. And he's got an outdo the rest of the year. Come on.
Well, yeah, I think he's obligated now.
Yeah, I think it's in the rules, isn't it?
It should be.
Should be. Daskalos, great victory. I would have loved to have been in that battle, and I bet you even Cindy's enjoyed that. She might have wanted the win again, but I think she'll take it. He got a bit of damage to the car, but Robin's racing, and well done to Warren Dexter. That Ginetta has been the sensation. That little mark from England in Leeds in the north of England has definitely done a great job here and is making a mark for itself here in the USA. Interestingly enough, Elise Cipriani is the, if you will, corporate dealer for Ginetta here. So this is a good result across the board for TA3 and TA4. They are leading the championship in both championships still, and an impressive run again by Warren Dexter.
The Ginetta's growing on me.
There you go.
They
Good.
really are.
We can build a car now and again as English. But congratulations to Boris Said. What a victory. And I tell you what, he used all his guile and racing craft to do that, because I think that if that had been another 10 laps, Boris would have been holding on for dear life. So, quick check on the results then. Boris Said ahead of Chris Dyson. Cliff Eben rounding out the top three. Plenty of drama. Pintaric turning it round in the Cadillac early on, and then throwing bodywork and debris everywhere, coming in, and then three wheels on his wagon for Simon Gregg. Excuse me, not Simon Gregg, that's Tom Ellis it was. Then bang! Bang again went Kenny. But out. Boris Said picking up the lead and the checkered flag in the end, holding off Chris Dyson for a very memorable win for the career that is already star-studded for Boris Said. He's had many a great victory around